My parents forgot my birthday for the fourth time in a war, but gave my sister a car for her. So I cut them off, and their reaction was insane. Hello, thank you for your continuous support. This means a lot to us. If you enjoy the stories we share, kindly subscribe to this channel. It will be great if you can leave a comment on which city you are watching from. We might just give you a shout out in our next story. Today's special shout out goes to Paul Marson from Ohio. We are glad you enjoy our stories. Now let's dive into the details of today's story. I turned 25 on a Tuesday, and nobody cared. No call, no text, not even a half-hearted happy birthday from the checkout guy at the gas station where I grabbed my coffee. I sat in my cramped apartment, the one I'd been renting since college, staring at my phone like some idiot waiting for a miracle. It didn't come. Instead, around 8 p.m., my thumb slipped, and I opened Instagram. Big mistake. There was Sophie, my little sister, grinning next to a cherry red Toyota, a bow slapped on the hood like it was Christmas. Best 21st ever, she captioned it. My parents flanked her, mom beaming, dad tossing her the keys. A party, balloons, cake, the works. For her. For me, nothing. Fourth year in a row they'd forgotten. I scrolled back, my gut twisting. Sophie's post already had 200 likes, cousins and uncles chiming in with heart emojis and proud of you comments. I wasn't even tagged. Not invited. Just erased. I tossed the phone onto the couch and paced the room, my boots thudding against the cheap laminate floor. It wasn't about the car. I didn't need a damn car. It was about them. Mom, with her endless excuses. Oh, Michael, you're so independent. Dad, grunting over his beer. Sophie's the one who needs us. And me, the fool who kept waiting for them to see me. I flashed back to when I was 12, fixing the lawnmower Dad broke because Sophie needed him to drive her to a friend's. Or 16, when I aced my finals, and they didn't notice because Sophie got a C and they threw her a pizza party for trying hard. Last year, my 24th, I called Mom to hint at it. Big day tomorrow, huh? And she'd laughed, said, oh, right, Sophie's dance recital's coming up. I'd hung up and punched a hole in my drywall. Still hadn't fixed it. That night, sitting there with Sophie's smug face glowing on my screen, something snapped. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet click in my head. I was done waiting, done hoping. I grabbed my phone, blocked Mom's number first, her voice already echoing in my skull, whining about how busy they were. Then Dad's, then Sophie's. My finger hovered over the delete contact button for her, but I didn't need the temptation to check back. Blocked was enough. Next morning, I called my boss at the garage, some buddy of Dad's who paid me peanuts to fix transmissions, and quit. You sure, Mikey? He'd grumbled. Your old man won't like this. I told him I didn't care what Dad liked and hung up. By noon, I'd found a studio apartment across town on some sketchy rental site. Cheap, they are mine. I packed my stuff in 2 duffels, clothes, my toolbox, a couple books I never read. The last thing I grabbed was an old Polaroid from the dresser. Me and Sophie, maybe 10 and 6, grinning on a swing set. Mom had taken it. Dad was probably off somewhere ignoring us. I stared at it, my jaw tight, then chucked it into the box with the rest of my junk. Enough, I muttered, and hauled everything to my truck. The new place was a dump, peeling paint, a mattress that creaked like it was haunted, but it was freedom. I dropped my bags, sat on the floor, and let the silence sink in. No Mom nagging me to call. No Dad barking about how I should step up for Sophie. No Sophie giggling through the walls about her latest drama. Just me. For a second, I almost unblocked them. Habit, maybe, or some dumb flicker of guilt. But then I remembered the car. The bow. The party I wasn't worth inviting to. I locked my phone and shoved it in my pocket. That first night, I lay on the mattress, staring at the ceiling. I didn't sleep much. Kept thinking about how they'd react when they figured it out. Would they even notice? Probably not until Sophie needed something and I wasn't there to fix it. I pictured Mom's face, all pinched and teary, like she was the victim. Dad's fists clenched, ready to lecture me about respect. Sophie pouting, because how dare I steal her spotlight by disappearing? I smirked into the dark. Let them figure it out. I was gone. By the end of the week, I'd sold my old couch online and used the cash to buy a cheap coffee maker. I didn't need much, just a start. I'd find a job, something that wasn't tied to Dad's greasy fingerprints. I didn't know what came next, but I knew one thing. I wasn't going back. Not to that house. Not to that life. Not to being the ghost they stepped over to get to Sophie. I was out. and they'd have to deal with it. The first week in the new place felt like holding my breath. I'd wake up, half expecting Mom to bang on the door or Dad to call me an idiot for bailing. Nothing. Just quiet. I didn't mind it. It gave me room to think, to figure out who I was when I wasn't their errand boy. I needed cash, though, so I hit the pavement looking for work. Found it at a salvage yard on the edge of town, rusted hulks of cars stacked like tombstones, run by a guy named Tony who didn't ask questions. "You know engines?" He grunted. I nodded. "Start tomorrow." That was it. No Dad's buddy breathing down my neck. Just me and the machines. First day, I met Ezra. He was leaning against a busted Chevy, arms crossed, tattoos snaking up his neck. Looked like he'd been born with a wrench in his hand. "You're the new guy," he said, not a question. I shrugged, and he smirked. "Don't talk much, huh? Good. Less bullshit." I liked him already. He didn't pry, just handed me a socket wrench and pointed at a pickup with a seized engine. We worked in sync, him cussing at bolts, me tearing into the guts of it. Felt right, like I could breathe again. 2 weeks passed like that. No word from Mom, Dad, or Sophie. I'd blocked them, sure, but part of me figured they'd find a way, through a cousin, maybe, or one of Dad's loudmouth friends. Nothing. I started to think they hadn't even noticed I was gone. Then, one afternoon, I was elbow deep in a carburetor when my phone buzzed. Old voicemail, pre-block. I should have ignored it, but curiosity won. I wiped my hands and hit play. Sophie's voice chirped through. "Hey, Mikey, you didn't like my car post. Rude much? Mom's freaking out. Says you're ignoring us. Call her, Kay." I snorted. 2 weeks, and that's what got their attention. Sophie's ego bruised because I didn't kiss her digital ass. Next message was Mom, right on cue. "Michael, what's going on? Sophie's upset, and I haven't heard from you. After all we've done, this is how you act." Her voice cracked like she was auditioning for a soap opera. I deleted it mid-sentence. Then my inbox lit up. Text from an unblocked cousin, Mark. "Dude, your mom's losing it. Says you're breaking her heart. What's up?" I didn't reply. Let her lose it. Dad's turn came later. Mark forwarded me a rant. "That kid's ungrateful. Always has been. Tell him to get his head straight." I laughed, bitter. Ungrateful for what? Fixing their crap while they threw Sophie parades? By night, it spread. Sophie posted a TikTok, her in the Toyota, pouting, caption, "When your own family turns on you." Comments piled up. "Stay strong, girl. Who'd do that to you?" She didn't name me, but she didn't have to. Aunt Linda called me next, voice all syrupy. "Michael, your parents are worried. Family's family, you know." I hung up. They weren't worried. They were pissed I'd stopped playing my part. I tossed the phone on my mattress and stared at the ceiling, chest tight. I'd wanted them to notice, hadn't I? Now they had, and it was all about them. Next day at the yard, I was off, dropped a wrench twice, snapped at Tony when he asked about a fender. Ezra noticed. He leaned over the pickup's hood, eyes sharp. "You're wound tight, man. Spill it." I didn't want to, but it came out anyway. Sophie's car, the forgotten birthdays, the guilt trips. He listened, didn't flinch. "Sounds like my old man," he said when I finished. "Cut him off years ago. Best thing I ever did." I blinked. "You don't miss him?" He shrugged. "Not the version who made me feel like shit." That stuck with me. He jerked his head toward a corner of the yard. "Come on." I followed him to a heap of twisted metal, a motorcycle, frame bent, tires flat. "Been meaning to rebuild this. You in?" I hesitated, then nodded. We hauled it to the shop, and for the next few hours, it was just us and the bike, stripping bolts, prying off rust. My hands moved like they knew what to do, and the knot in my gut loosened. Escape plan. I muttered, half to myself. Ezra grinned. Damn right. That night, alone again, I felt it, the weight of their silence turning into noise. They'd noticed I was gone, but not because they missed me. Because I'd stopped being useful. Mom's fake tears, Dad's bluster, Sophie's little show, it was all the same game. I wasn't playing anymore. I grabbed a beer from the mini fridge, cracked it open, and sat by the window. The motorcycle flashed in my head, something mine, something real. They could scream all they wanted. I wasn't coming back. 3 weeks into the new gig, I started to feel solid. The salvage yard was my turf now, grease under my nails, the hum of engines in my ears. Ezra and I had the motorcycle half torn apart, its guts spread across a workbench like a puzzle we'd cracked together. I'd even named it in my head, the Unseen, because it was beat up and ignored, just like me. That Friday, I was tightening a bolt on a customer's radiator when Tony yelled across the lot, "Mike, you got visitors." I froze. No one knew I worked here. Unless I straightened up, wiping my hands on a rag, and there she was, Mom, marching through the yard like she owned it. Her mascara was already streaking, a performance ready to roll. Dad trailed her, face red, fist balled up. And Sophie, goddamn Sophie, hovered behind them, phone out, filming like this was her next viral hit. My stomach dropped. Michael, Mom wailed, loud enough to turn heads. How could you do this to us? Customers gawked from the pickup line. Tony raised an eyebrow but stayed put. I wanted to bolt, but my boots wouldn't move. Do what? I said, keeping my voice flat. She flung her arms out. Disappear. Ignore us. Sophie's devastated, and your father's beside himself. Dad snorted, stepping closer. You think you can just walk out, boy? After everything? I almost laughed. Everything? Like what? Leaving me to fend for myself while they polished Sophie's halo. I glanced at her. She smirked, angling her phone for the best shot. That's when I saw red. Everything. I snapped, stepping forward. You mean like forgetting my birthday for years straight? Or missing my graduation because Sophie had a dance rehearsal? Or how about that car? I jabbed a finger at her Toyota, parked crooked by the gate. You threw a party for? Well, I got nothing. Mom gasped, clutching her chest like I'd stabbed her. That's not fair, Michael. We've always what? I cut her off. Ignored me? Yeah, I noticed. Dad lunged in, voice booming. Watch your tone. We raised you, fed you, and forgot me. I shot back. Every time Sophie whined, I was the one picking up the pieces. Her bike broke? I fixed it. Your sink clogged? I crawled under it. And you, I turned to Mom, you'd pat her head and tell me I was fine. I wasn't fine. My voice cracked, and I hated it, but I couldn't stop. I was invisible. And you didn't care until I stopped being your damn handyman. Sophie giggled, actually giggled, and I lost it. What's so funny? I barked. She shrugged, still filming. You're just mad you didn't get a car. That was it. I wheeled on her. I don't want your stupid car. I wanted a family who gave a damn. You got the keys, the party, the love, and I got a hole in my wall from waiting for you all to remember me. The yard went quiet. Even the air felt heavy. Mom sobbed harder, Dad glared. But Sophie just zoomed in, like I was her reality TV star. Ezra appeared then, stepping between us, wrench in hand. Back off, he told Dad, calm but firm. He's working. Dad puffed up, but Tony hollered, take it outside. Folks. Mom grabbed my arm, pleading. Michael, come home. We're a family. I yanked free. You don't get to cry now, I said, low and cold. You didn't even know I was gone till Sophie threw a fit. I'm done. I turned away, chest heaving, and walked back to the shop. Sophie called after me. This is going online. I didn't look back. Inside, I grabbed a hammer and started smashing a dented fender over and over, metal screaming under my swings. Ezra leaned in the doorway, watching. Feel better? He asked when I stopped, panting. No, I muttered. He nodded, like he got it. They're assholes. But you said it. That's something. I dropped the hammer, hands shaking. He was right. I'd finally said it. All of it. And it hurt like hell. That night, I couldn't sit still. Sophie's video hit the internet. I knew it without checking. I stayed off my phone, but the buzz in my head wouldn't quit. I went back to the yard after hours, alone, and worked on the motorcycle. Pulled the chain, scrubbed rust off the frame. My fingers moved fast, steadying me. I didn't know what came next. Mom's tears, Dad's threats, Sophie's followers picking me apart. But I'd cracked the silence wide open. They'd heard me, and I wasn't sure if that was victory or just more noise. Before I left, I traced the bike's bent handlebars with my thumb. The unseen. It fit. I'd make it run again, make it mine. And they could scream all they wanted. I wasn't theirs anymore. The day after the yard showdown, I woke up to a phone that wouldn't stop buzzing. Texts, voicemails, notifications. Sophie's video had hit like a grenade. I didn't open it, but I didn't have to. Mark, my cousin, forwarded a link with a dude, you okay? I ignored him. Aunt Linda left a message, all soft and preachy. Michael, I saw the video. You need to forgive them. They're hurting too. Hurting? I laughed out loud, alone in my studio, the sound bouncing off the bare walls. They weren't hurting. They were mad I'd called them out in front of an audience. I went to work anyway, needing the noise of the yard to drown out my head. Tony gave me a nod. No questions. Guy didn't care as long as I fixed cars. Ezra was already there, tinkering with a busted alternator. He glanced up. You're famous. I grunted, grabbing a wrench. Sophie's famous. I'm just the jerk in her story. He smirked. Saw it. You're trending under family drama. Half the comments say you're a badass. Half say you're a crybaby. I tightened a bolt too hard, stripping it. Great. By lunch, I couldn't dodge it. Some coworker, Jake, loudmouth with a buzz cut, shoved his phone in my face. There I was, yelling at Mom, Dad looming, Sophie's smug zoom in on my face mid-rant. 2 million views. Comments scrolled fast. He's ungrateful AF. No wonder they forgot him. Dude's got a point. Favoritism sucks. Jake grinned. You're a meme now, Grayson. I shoved the phone back. Good for me. But my chest felt tight, like I couldn't get enough air. That night, I sat on my mattress, staring at the wall. The video played in my skull anyway. Mom's fake sobs, Dad's growl, my own voice breaking. I'd wanted them to hear me, but this? Strangers picking me apart, Sophie raking in likes. It wasn't what I'd pictured. I grabbed my keys and headed to the yard. The motorcycle waited, half-built, its frame gleaming where weeds scrubbed the rust. I started working, tightened the chain, bolted on a new bracket. My hands knew what to do, even if my head didn't. Ezra showed up an hour later, unannounced. He leaned against the workbench, arms crossed. You're brooding, he said. I kept my eyes on the bike. Just working. He snorted. Bull, you're replaying that fight, wondering if you're the asshole. I stopped, wrench mid-turn, and glared at him. What's your point? He stepped closer. My point is you're still letting them run the show. They've got you doubting yourself, same as they always did. I wanted to argue, but he wasn't wrong. I'd spent years proving I didn't need them. Good grades, steady jobs, fixing their messes, and they'd still picked Sophie. Now I'd screamed it to the world, and half the world called me selfish. Was I? I dropped the wrench, ran a hand through my hair. I just wanted them to see me, you know? Not this. Ezra nodded, slow. Yeah, I get it. My dad was the same. Big shot who didn't give a damn till I walked. Took me years to stop caring what he thought. That hit me. How'd you do it? I asked. He shrugged. Built my own life. Stopped looking back. He tapped the motorcycle with his boot. This is yours. They don't own it. They don't own you. I looked at the bike, the unseen, and something clicked. I'd been chasing their approval, even when I cut them off. The fight, the video, my anger, it was all still about them. Next day, I finished the bike with Ezra. We mounted the tires, hooked up the fuel line, tested the throttle. It growled to life, rough but alive. I grabbed a welder from the shop, etched "I am enough" onto a small steel plate, and bolted it to the frame. Not flashy, just mine. I snapped a photo, printed it at a corner store, and mailed it to Mom and Dad's address. No note, no explanation. It wasn't for them to understand. It was for me to let go. That night, I rode it for the first time. The engine roared under me, vibrating through my bones. I took it slow around the block, then faster, the lights blurring past. For once, I wasn't thinking about Mom's tears or Dad's lectures or Sophie's smirk. I wasn't the forgotten kid, the fixer, the ghost. I was just Michael, and that was enough. The video could burn online. The family could talk. They didn't get to define me anymore. I'd built this. I'd earned this. And I wasn't looking back. I packed light the day I left. 2 duffels, same ones I'd hauled to the studio, stuffed with clothes, my toolbox, and a couple protein bars I'd grabbed from the gas station. The motorcycle sat outside, gleaming under the streetlight, its engine still warm from a test run. The unseen. My hands had rebuilt it, piece by piece, and that little plate, "I am enough," caught the light every time I glanced at it. I didn't know where I was going, just that I was done staying. The yard job was solid, but I'd told Tony I was out. He'd grunted, "Good luck, kid," and that was that. Ezra met me at the shop before I rolled. He leaned against the gate, arms crossed. That smirk of his sharper than ever. "You're really doing it," he said. I nodded, strapping the bags to the bike. "Yeah, need a change." He didn't ask where or why, just tossed me a spare wrench from his pocket. "For the road. Don't break down on me." I caught it, grinning. "Thanks, man. For everything." He shrugged. "Keep in touch. Or don't. Just don't crash that thing." We shook hands, firm, and I knew I'd miss him. He'd been the first person in years who didn't make me feel like I had to prove something. I swung my leg over the seat, fired up the engine. It snarled to life, louder than ever, and I felt it rumble through me. My bones, my chest, my head. The yard faded behind me as I pulled onto the street, tires humming against asphalt. I didn't have a map, didn't need one. West, maybe, or south, somewhere new. The buzz of my phone had died down since the video peaked. Last I checked, Sophie was still milking it, posting teary healing journey updates. I hadn't looked in days. Didn't care. An hour out, I passed close to the old house, close enough to see it if I wanted. I slowed, just for a second, picturing it. Mom in the kitchen, probably clutching that photo I'd mailed, turning it into her next sob story. Dad in the garage, grumbling about how I'd lost my way. Sophie in her room, posing with that damn car for her followers. The photo had landed a week ago. I'd tracked the delivery, saw it marked received. No call, no text, nothing. I'd half expected Mom to show up again, tears and all, but maybe they'd finally got the hint. Or maybe they just didn't know what to say. Either way, it was over. I didn't stop. Gunned the throttle instead, let the engine roar drown out the what-ifs. The road stretched ahead, a black ribbon cutting through the night, and I leaned into it. Wind hit my face, sharp and fast, tugging at my jacket. For the first time in years, I wasn't carrying their weight. Mom's guilt, Dad's temper, Sophie's spotlight. It was just me and the bike, the hum of freedom in my ears. I grinned, couldn't help it. Felt like I'd busted out of a cage I didn't even know I'd been locked in. The highway opened up, endless and dark, dotted with headlights from strangers I'd never meet. I thought about Ezra's words, building my own life, not looking back. He'd been right. The motorcycle wasn't just metal and bolts, it was proof I could make something real, something mine. I'd spent so long waiting for them to see me, to care, that I'd missed the bigger truth. I didn't need them to. I built this. I'd walked away, and I was still standing. A sign flashed by some town I'd never heard of, 20 miles out. I didn't know if I'd stop there or keep going. Didn't matter. The point wasn't the destination, it was the ride. I glanced at the plate welded to the frame, its words glinting in the dashboard glow. I am enough. Damn right I was. They could keep their car, their parties, their drama. I had the road, and that was more than they'd ever given me. The engine growled louder as I pushed the speed, the world blurring past. I thought about the kid I'd been quiet, waiting, hoping they'd turn around. He was gone now, left behind with that old Polaroid and a lifetime of being second. This Michael? He didn't wait. He rode. And as the miles stacked up, I felt it. Freedom, real and raw, pumping through me like fuel. I looked back once, just a flick of my eyes, then faced forward. The plate shone. The road called. I answered with a twist of the throttle, and I was gone. If you felt Michael's ride, from being forgotten to breaking free, hit that like button and tell me in the comments. Have you ever had to cut someone off to find yourself? Subscribe for more stories about real people fighting for their own road. Next time, we're diving into another journey. Don't miss it.